Hello, everyone. I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. But as you know, this channel is all about Myrt journaling. So I previously had shown you how I made collage, large-sized pages, and then cut them into tags. And we've got the paper on the back so that journaling can be done. And I told you that I would sew around the edges. Now, there's a big discussion over whether or not you should leave the little bits of thread showing or if you should clip them closely. That's a matter of personal preference. Now, it actually was hard for me on some of these, put them back together to figure out, what had all been part of the original journaling page. But this one was one of the easier ones to go forward with. I could recognize the musical score and how we cut this element in half so that we could enjoy them on a tag. That's not something I would have necessarily done by itself, but because it was part of a large collage page, it worked out pretty well. This is the one where I decided I might keep it for a full page. Just don't have the heart to cut that one up. This one was pretty obvious that it went together. I know I'm going to probably use this for a cover for my daughter. But those are then a horizontal and a vertical journaling card. Some of this text is upside down and some of it is right side up. I'm not thinking of it as text to read, but I am thinking of it as a design element, a pattern, as opposed to something that those kids should be reading. It's all about telling ancestral stories. Now, this one was really hard to try to piece back together. In fact, I think I'm missing whatever goes there. Oops, that goes over here. It was easy to tell because the leaves matched up. But that I'm just letting you know that life can be interesting when you do this kind of collaging and journal card making. Okay, what do we do here? This one is interesting because of stitching around the edge all the way. And remember, I wanted to keep this because I might possibly use it with journaling pages or other types of pages in between in a booklet with this fold out. So the fold out, I went around this page initially, and then on the fold out, I couldn't go across this opening because otherwise we wouldn't be able to get a journaling card in there. And it's a little tight as it is. But I did do a U-shaped stitching around the parts that I had previously glued. There's one other thing to tell you, and I don't know if you notice that I mostly straight stitched. Where's my example? Let me pull really close in so you can see this. It's perfectly okay if you go off the edge or you add zigzags or you do some other kind of interesting stitches. I prefer to do the straight stitch, but I specifically did this here to so we could have this discussion. This is your journal that you're making. You're the designer. This is your creativity. Gosh, I got choked up on that word for some reason. But anyway, you get to do what you want. And I think you will agree that we have a lot of interesting journaling cards to put in tuck spots and various little envelopes and things when it comes to finishing this up. For instance, here is a small flip out that I've previously shown you, and these journaling cards were made out of ready-made tags. That got old really quick because I was needing more tags and journaling cards than I could afford to buy constantly. So that's a good reason for learning to use your bits of ephemera, your little tiny bits of cast off papers, things you find in magazines. Remember, I found this, well, actually I printed this, but these were from magazines. This was about design elements in a yard, outside a sliding glass door, and the glass door was here in the picture. I didn't want that. I wanted this texture as a design element for this particular journaling card. So I hope that you will start sharing with me what you're designing and what you're creating, because this is a whole heck of a lot of fun. Nothing left to say, but I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. Happy family tree climbing, everybody, and journaling. That's